I put myself between the charging ogre and our wizard, and raised my shield to deflect his blow.
Alright, sounds like defy danger to me. Roll plus strength.
Well, that's a 4.
Good news, mark XP. Bad news, the heavy blow tosses you about 20 feet into a pile of what looks like vines. As you land, the vines begin to move around you.
Oh, wait, what? I want to discern realities. Okay, got an 8. That means one question, right? What's about to happen?
As the tendrils begin to make noise and move closer to your friend, it becomes apparent he's about to listen to that D&D podcast. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Thank you for downloading this latest episode of That D&D podcast. On the last session, the Underworld party continued their exploration of the Undertrails. They avoided a fight with an Otiug, which is probably for the best, because those things are not cool. And they, in their exploration, accidentally fell through the ground and went through a fun slide adventure and grabbed onto the ledge right before they plunged into a massive cavernous room with some sort of creepy thing in it. So we rejoin the party, hanging out, not hanging from, since they pulled themselves up, hanging out at the ledge, looking down at some creepy thing. So let's go around the table and introduce ourselves before we do any further actions. My name's Chris, I am the GM, and I'll be playing the part of the creepy thing.
I'm Adam, playing Oric the Thief, and I'm good at avoiding awkward conversations with wizards.
Hi, I'm David. I'm playing Zarko, and I love talking to dead people.
And getting interesting things from them. I'm Renee, and I'm playing Sam, and I'm decently good at avoiding falls into rooms and caverns. Not so good at avoiding the earthquakes.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real roll to dodge earthquake, though, so
you
that's
know,
not on you
I
guys.
have to keep trying, though.
Next time you make a ranger, you should have favored enemy natural disaster.
Earthquake.
Nature itself.
Stupid nature.
Urban ranger.
Stupid, sexy Flanders.
For those of you who may not be aware, in earlier seasons of The Simpsons, in one episode, Flanders... never mind.
It's not worth it, man.
If you don't know, ask your parents. Maybe they can tell you about it. We remember when The Simpsons was funny.
True story.
Chris, where were we? I believe there was a creepy deer thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to put a picture on the...
Oh, no, I'd rather just use my imagination.
I don't think we need to eat.
Zarko, do you know anything about creepy deer people? I'm sure I saw a picture of one in one of your books.
That makes Zarko raise an eyebrow.
Nice.
That apparently you've been looking in my books.
You just leave them sitting out there all the time.
I
thought it was like a little library.
I don't know if I want to spout lore or discern realities.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, it's not even a good one. Hold on. It's not cooperating very well. Stop appearing!
Can't help it. It wants to be seen.
Oh my god, that's not the one I uploaded. Fucking stop.
It's haunted. Your computer's now cursed with that picture.
Oh, there we go.
That's...
I hope that's not to scale.
God, no.
No.
It's bigger than the cave. What?
Okay,
That doesn't make any more sense.
That's a worse picture. Oh, God.
Well, no, guys, it's cool. It doesn't have legs, so, way better.
Wait, so it's like a torso?
It's the torso and upper half. The legs seem to have been ripped off or sheared off at some point.
So
there's jagged bones.
It looks
sticking
like
out.
some sort of strange, macabre assembly
that's
of
awful.
a number of different corpses and skeletons to sort of create this amalgamation creature. Anyway, let me roll some spout lore, I guess. An 8.
All right, an 8.
What was that?
You get
Something interesting.
yes. It's said, it's more rumor than anything, but it's said that in times of dire circumstance, if someone resorts to eating their own kind, that nature itself will punish them, change them to show the monsters that they actually are.
Ed, Chris, no more lore podcast for you.
I think this may be a Wendigo, a result of the most desperate of adventurers, forced to consume the flesh of their fallen comrades, and cursed for the vile acts that they commit to try and survive.
Shit. And 7.
7 for discern reality. Okay.
Yeah.
You have a list of questions. Ask me one of them.
Right.
Do you have the questions in front of you, or do you need me to read them?
Yeah. What here is useful? Shit. Do I want to know what to be on the lookout for, or what's useful? What is useful to me? What here is useful to me?
Well, you're able to pull your eyes away from the thing on the floor. You see piles of clothing off in the distance. They are
Okay.
clothes. It'll look sort of like a really bad t-shirt. Looks sort of like a gun.
It does look like a really bad t-shirt.
Thanks.
He's got a really weird arm going on there.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you slowly, morph into another thing. There are piles of clothing, possibly from this thing's victims. And aside from that, off to the south, there is a path leading out of the room, depending on if you see this as a situation where you need to fight or not.
Okay, I'm going to let the other two notice the clothing and the way out.
Well, that answered my one question, because I wasn't sure if going down here was a good idea at all, if it was a dead end. If there's a path.
Does appear to be an exit if we need it. When we need it. We need it now.
Well, I mean, we go back and face that giant thing we don't know about, or we deal with this.
I mean, the two of you both have good, very good ranged ability, or, ranged. I don't want to try to stay in character or not. You guys can hit this thing from up here. So I figured I can go down there and try to assess how mobile this thing is, since it appears to be only half of a body. And you can support me from up here.
Yes.
Be careful, Auric. It will try to feast on you.
Oh yeah, we probably should have been, end this abomination. But yeah, let's just see how much of a threat it is first, before we get everyone down. How far down is it? About
15 to 20 feet. There is a collection of rock outcroppings that you can maybe use to hop down.
I
Okay.
have rope too.
Oh, that works.
So tie off one end and go down the rock outcropping and hop down on rope, or hold on the rope as I go down. So yeah, I want to go down to see how this thing responds to having someone closer.
As you're shimmying down, you hear a cracking impact behind you as it's digging its fingers several inches into the stone and pulling itself closer to you bit by bit, and just keep saying
Yeah, Zarko's gonna cast magic missile at that shit.
go for it.
11.
You have cast. Now see how many damage you do.
I do 2d4. 8.
Very nice.
I'm not
Wow.
a fan of this guy.
Yeah.
Are you aiming for anywhere in particular on it, or are you just firing for effect?
I'm actually trying to knock it off. So, I mean, aiming at its limbs that it's digging into the wall.
Wait, was it climbing up the wall towards us? Is that what you said? I missed that.
It was pulling itself closer along the floor,
Yeah.
but it looks like it's heading for the wall
Okay.
now.
Oh yeah, I kind of seemed to be still on the floor still.
As you hit it, land two solid blows right on the same shoulder joint, which seems to just explode and fall away. The body part that falls to the ground sizzles and turns to some weird powder. It's still looking at you, but it seems to not be hissing to feed anymore. It's just watching. Suddenly it says,
Sam just tried to end it.
Oh, okay. So Renee rolled volley, so you got a 7. So you can choose to put yourself in danger, get negative 1d6 on your damage, or take several shots and reduce your ammo by 1. Oh, it was a called shot. My bad. Yeah, so she rolled a 7, which doesn't do damage, stuns him, and he drools and shit.
All right. Then I just assume I can get down the rest of the way, walk up to him, and
I just want to say it literally says that he drools. I'm just saying. It literally says that.
he had saliva.
Yeah.
Alright, so that shot, it actually sends it onto its back, and it just lays there staring at the roof of the cavern as Oryx strides up to it.
And I just shove my sword through its head, various heads, all the heads that are on it.
It's just got the main head.
Okay.
That picture,
that picture has
extra
many
ones
heads.
on it, but it shouldn't. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, into the skull.
Skull is actually easily pierced, and since this thing wasn't putting up any sort of fight, I'm not going to make you roll for it. Right on in, and the body convulses momentarily, and slowly stops moving, and begins to sizzle and turn into powder. The last thing to fade away as you look at the body is the hand, which is pointing towards the entrance, or the exit that you guys found, not the one you came in from. And right around that time, Stompy McStinkhand comes in.
Oh, of course.
Oh, man. At least we can know where to find him.
You also see, as it comes in, right over the top of the door that it's coming through, the word Felix is scratched into the stone hundreds and hundreds of times in every direction.
Oh, so
Well, that's
the journal guy
sane.
turned into the Wendigo. He didn't turn into a ghoul. I completely missed that point, but I see now.
And in comes your friend.
He's a friend.
Sure, let's call him that.
Rocky Road. We're gonna cut all this out because he's gone, right?
Oric did give him the gift of a stinky hand, so
That was his nose picking hand too.
that makes him a friend, right? You sometimes you have to teach a hard lesson on what is socially appropriate.
One of the things I like about this game is that all the enemies have like a reasonable amount of health.
Mhm.
Like I think the highest HP I've seen on anything is like a dragon, and it's got like 30 or 50 health. It's got stupid high armor, so you know it's gonna deflect a lot of the damage you do. But I don't know, I like that.
But it's cool. We just have to get through the armor and we'll be fine.
I guess we're gonna keep doing stuff before Adam gets back. At least we can get a round of stuff out of you guys.
Okay.
It comes in, sniffs
Yep.
the air, it looks around for its friend. Doesn't see it, but it does see Oric there, and it lets out an angry roar and starts stomping over in his direction. With each stomp, it actually sinks its foot to the ground a little bit and kicks up debris. So this thing is heading his way.
Can I spout some lore about this thing too?
Sure. Well, we'll see if you can spell
Because-
some lore.
Yeah, let's see. A 9. So maybe.
These things are somewhat better known than Wendigo.
Okay.
It's called a gray render.
Ooh.
On its own, it's a force of utter destruction. It's huge and leathery. It's got a maw of unbreakable teeth and claws to match. Seems to enjoy little more than tearing things apart. Stone, flesh, steel, doesn't really matter. However, it is rarely found alone. They tend to bond with other creatures. Some of them bond at birth or as fully grown creatures. They will follow their bonded master wherever they go, bringing them offerings of meat and protecting them while they sleep. Finding an unbonded render means certain riches if you survive to sell it. So this angry thing is crumping its way over to Oric. And it's going to make a running charge and pull one of its fists back as if it's going to give you a nice slash too to go along with it.
So I'm getting out of the way.
That'd be advisable.
Yes, I'm getting out of the way.
Okay.
I'll defy danger
You probably should.
dexterously with a 7.
Ooh.
So I succeed.
All right. There's two parts to this attack. So, I'm going to let you pick which one you dodge. Do you want to dodge the shoulder charge or the claw?
The claw sounds worse. So maybe I don't avoid that impact.
It swipes for you, and you duck right underneath it, and it turns that miss into a powerful charge, and it sends you sprawling after it impacts with your chest. So it's going to knock you flat on your ass, and you're going to take, say, D6 of damage minus your armor.
Nothing.
Oh, that's helpful.
So aside from being winded and in the dark, beset by a huge thing, you're not too bad.
Okay.
Anybody else want to do anything?
What did you say about when we find if you find an unbonded one?
They could be rather valuable if you survive to sell it.
Like alive or dead?
Well, they're very protective, so if you can, capture it and give it to somebody who can train it, then they could use it as like a super indestructible bodyguard. So alive would be preferable. Also, it's about as big as 2 of you, so dead would make it rather hard to move.
I guess you could parlay with it, huh?
So I am going to try to just see what happens. I'm going to try knocking it out. So what I do is I take one of my vials of oil of, I'm going to call it Taggart,
Mm-hmm.
pour it over a dagger, and chuck it at this thing.
Sounds good.
Oh, so that's volley, and I missed. Son of a bitch.
You actually hit it head on, but the armor on this thing deflects the force of that knife without much effort.
Okay, and then I'll also get to my feet, too.
Probably a good idea. It sees the 2 other interlopers waiting on the ledge, and it punches its hands into the ground and tries to rip up a large stone to send their way.
So the corpse of this Wendigo disappeared completely?
It's turned to mostly powder.
Can I roll a defy danger using quick thinking to try and get this giant thing to pause for a moment?
Sure. What are you going to try to do to get it to pause?
I'm going to tell it, wait, I can have you talk to your master, and it will let you know that we helped it.
All right, roll it.
A 7.
Stumble, hesitate, or flinch.
A worse outcome, a hard bargain, or ugly choice.
Shit. Trying to think of what to do with that one. Okay. So you say that as it finishes picking up the stone, and it's willing to listen, but it doesn't want to carry this huge stone, so it throws it behind its back, which makes it land just well enough to completely block that exit from this room. So it's looking at you now.
So I'm gonna scrabble down into the room and run over to the dust pile and cast speak with, and like motion for it to come over, and before I cast speak with dead on it, so it can listen to its former master.
Okay, I'm gonna say the skull and one of the hands still remain. So cast your spell.
A 10.
Very nice. The skull vibrates, and you feel confident that it is waiting.
I'm gonna look up at the big guy and back to the skull and say, This creature here served you, right?
Yes. He protected and fed me.
And you wanted us to do this to you, right?
This life was no life at all. It was torment.
You want it to help us out of here, right?
Felix looks down, cocks its head to the side, and gets on all fours and gets real close to it. Help these people. Help these travelers to safety. Do you understand, boy? She goes, and it nods. And the skull ceases its vibration and also turns to powder. So Felix is going to turn around. He's going to bash open the doorway that the rock was blocking, and he's going to tear ass down that hallway.
All right. While he's doing that, I'm going to surreptitiously pocket some of this powder because that's valuable reagent right there.
Okay. Some of that Wendigo dust.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how much that's worth?
I'm curious what's in that pile of clothes.
Do you want to go search it?
Yeah.
Sure.
I should carry my dagger back. That's now poisoned.
Oh, yeah. You might want to be careful where you put that one.
That's okay.
I'm gonna have a pouch of Wendigo dust now, if that's all right.
That's fine. Mark it on your inventory. We'll see if we can find a situation where that would be in any way useful to you. Don't act like I never saw no Wendigo. I got some Wendigo dust right here. There are blood-stained, ripped clothes, a few traveling packs that have been rifled through and ripped to shreds. There are the remnants of some weapons. You can find a pitted hand axe, a kind of broken in half short sword, so it's kind of like a dagger now, but cooler. It's a dagger with a real long handle. And off from that pile, there is a much smaller pile of clothes that are actually neatly stacked on top of each other, and on top of them is a small cloth doll and a ring.
The presents for his wife and kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's a necklace. Yeah, it's a necklace. It's got a
yeah.
beautiful stone set inside of it, and a small cloth doll.
I'll take them just in case we have a chance of delivering or pawning them. So hey.
Delivering or pawning. I like that.
There's
I don't know where this
eye
lady
on
is.
Auric to make sure that we should probably deliver them if possible.
Did you get her address? I didn't get her address.
It's the Fallout method. I'm going to pick this up, and if nobody asks for it before I get to the shop, I'm going to sell it.
I can't put it in a chest. It's a quest item.
Blink, blink. Damn it. So, yes, that is all of that. Sam, do you want to do anything in here?
Climb down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna
Take a step, land on your face.
pretty much. Yeah.
Are the glowing crystals anything of interest, or are they just normal, your garden variety glowing crystals?
I mean, like, they're useful if you want to light your way in the cave, but
There are a few of them that are about head height, so if you wanted to try and pry some out with like your dagger, you can take them and see if they are of any use. But I mean, right now they're just kind of cool little weird torches.
Mystical glowing properties. I don't know. I'll grab one. Sell it to some wizard as a staff topper.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do in here? Or you want to follow in this thing's footsteps?
No, Sam is ready to get out of here.
Okay.
This is about all the cave
How's-
she's really interested in at this point.
How's Max taking this whole whatever just happened here?
He's a little stressed out. He's kind of been stressed out since the deep, dark horror pit of pond filth water. So he's kind of just sticking close by me.
And so if you guys head on through that doorway that Felix went through. Sorry, I put my finger in my mouth.
What?
I was scratching my mustache and I
That seems
fingered my
easily.
mouth.
Okay, I'm like, 'cause that seems easily preventable. Particular problem.
The path joins, it seems, with the one that he came stomping up from earlier that Auric barely escaped. And aside from that, it also leads to the southwest, which is an area you guys have not yet been. And based on the sounds, Felix is down that way.
Head that way.
We'll follow the sounds of Felix.
The path is wide enough for some gargantuan creature to fit down, of course. It winds a bit. Finally, you can see around a bend what appears to be natural sunlight almost, but a little bit distant. You hear the sound of fighting up ahead.
sounds of fighting.
There is a low growl from Felix and what sounds like metal weapons clashing against armored skin. And if you go in there, you will see large creatures, probably a little bit taller than your average human. They are muscly as hell and slightly bluish, and they have very, very tiny little eyes. But they've got metal weapons and loincloths. And they seem to be engaged in combat with Felix.
How many?
There's 2 dead on the ground, and then there's another 6 or so that Felix is still fighting.
I would like to try catching one by surprise.
They are most certainly focused on Felix right now. So if you want to, you can. Oh shit! I did a thing. Hold on. Moving entire sections of the map now on accident because I don't know how rectangle works.
Those look fun.
All right. So as you guys are coming in, Auric, there are 2 between you and Felix, and they are both focused on him. So if you want to run over there and try to attack them,
This is highly suggesting that.
or I mean,
Yeah.
you guys can do whatever the hell you want. I'm just.
Or like
He said he
whatever.
wanted to,
but,
he said he
you
wanted to
know,
sneak
I
attack. I'm letting
mean,
him know which ones he can sneak attack.
Yes. So I have the backstab ability. Do I still have to successfully hit first to use backstab, or does backstab go off because I'm attacking a surprise or defenseless enemy?
It says when you attack, you can
not
choose
quite
to deal
clear.
your damage or roll plus dex on a 10 plus. Okay, so you have to do hack and slash, and then if it hits, you could either do the damage or roll plus dex to do it as a backstab. Let's.
So if you fail a backstab, does it just normal damage then?
So many
Well,
questions.
you roll your hack and slash, so let's do that part first. Wait. Okay, so no, they can't see you, so you either choose to automatically do your damage, which is the D8, or if you want to roll plus dex and make it a backstab, if you fuck it up, you don't do the damage, but you get, if you do succeed, you get the things.
Okay.
So you want to do this as backstab, right?
Yes.
Okay, so roll plus dex, and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
9. So I get 1.
Choose one. You either don't get into melee with them, you deal your damage plus a d6, you create an advantage, which gives you +1 forward to you or an ally acting against it, or you can reduce their armor by 1 until they repair it.
I'm going to add the bonus damage die.
All right, so d8 plus d6.
It's 10 damage.
Okay. Well, where are you stabbing this thing?
Right through where its heart should be. Like, sword erupts from its back or front or whatever.
Luckily, the humanoid analog has its heart analog in the same general area. So as it's getting ready to charge forward to attack Felix, blade sticks into its back and it goes and then falls over. Somebody roll me 1, 2, 3, 4 D2s. Oh, good. Okay.
That was
I
fast.
think they're all run away or they all stick around.
So somebody that's not Zarko, roll me 4 D6s. Great.
Huh, interesting. I rolled something and it didn't show up.
These all congregate around Felix and plant their bladed weapons into various parts of his body over and over and over again and bring him down to his knees. And just when you think he's down and out, somebody roll me another 4d2.
David, you're the only one left.
Help us, David Dice Kenobi, you're our only hope. All right. So that's good numbers. So just when you think he's down and out, he wails around, kills 2 of these things, and hits this one with some debris. So he's momentarily blinded. And the one in front of him that is blocking the path to freedom is still going strong. Does anybody else want to do anything?
Yeah, I can keep on stabbing, but I'll let someone else do something.
Let me see here.
I'm gonna say we should go while the getting's good.
Have you no empathy for poor Felix? He got us out of here.
There are 2 left. I'm gonna arrow at this one and send Max to fight it.
Do you do a called shot or just a regular?
Just a regular.
Sure thing. Roll your volley.
Ooh, 11.
Very nice.
Okay, and his ferocity is 2, and I do a D8. Roll 1d8 plus 2. 9 damage.
All right, so where are you shooting at this thing?
Uh,
On this, yeah.
right between his shoulder blades.
All right. The head is still trying to move around for a little while to look around and see what's going on, but you hit it right in the spine, so it has no control of its limbs, and then after a little while you can hear it choking on its own blood, and then it dies.
Sweet. I mean, Gross.
I feel empathy for this creature.
Whatever, they just like came and stabbed our guide. I don't,
It's almost like they're adventurers.
They're blue. They must be evil. Zarko, would you like to do anything?
No, these guys seem like they got it under control.
So the arrow whizzes over your shoulder, hits this thing, and in the last desperate attempt to murder Felix, the one remaining creature is going to jump up, both blades in the air, and try to bring them down on him.
Oh, is he doing that?
Yep.
I'll magic missile him.
All right. I figured I'd open him up to something. Either you or Felix was going to snap at him. All right. Roll me some spellcast.
A 7.
Which drawback would you like? Unwelcome attention? Disturb the fabric of reality and take a -1 ongoing to cast a spell, or you forget it for now.
I'll forget it for
Roll your damage.
3.
Hit this thing in one of its arms and cripple it. And that is all the motivation Felix needs to reach over, put both arms around it, or both of its massive claws, and clap very slowly. Squish it until his hands meet. There's a lot of screaming and crunching, and mercifully for this thing, it dies before the clapping is done. And Felix begins to rip into it and consume the still warm insides.
Sam is super happy that Felix is currently on their side and really hopes it stays that way.
Okay, so let's go.
I mean, do we want a Felix?
We're just gonna walk around and let him do his thing.
No, but do we want a Felix? Because I could totally get us a Felix.
Are there any drawbacks to having a Felix?
We have to feed him, probably.
And you're responsible for him.
Have to clean up after him. I don't know.
Can you imagine the shits this thing makes?
We were trying not to.
Which is one of the many services I offer. Making you imagine the shit that animals make.
I don't know, it does seem kind of useful, but also kind of disturbing. Can we really just leave him here? I mean, we know that they want to be bonded with...
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the... I think it was a pouch of a golden root that the satyrs, I believe, gave to me. One of the satyrs gave to me. And I'm going to basically lace one of my rations with golden root.
Okay.
Actually, I could just lace one of the corpses with golden root. I'm going to offer it to Felix as a snack to help him feel better.
The corpse or the ration?
I guess the corpse is probably more of his style since he already ate one, right?
It's a fair assumption. So are you going to drag that particular corpse over to him and motion towards it, or how's this working?
Yeah, I'm gonna go here. This will help you feel a lot better, buddy. You look like you could use another little snack.
It looks cautiously at you, and then reaches down and takes a few tentative bites. It probably considers them nibbles. You consider it a vicious, rending maw.
Ate an arm off at one bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of crunching and gross wet sounds. It looks over at you. And you didn't notice it before now. This thing actually has a really tiny little lizard tail, and it's kind of wagging a little bit as it looks at you.
Hope it makes you feel a little bit better. You want to come hang out with us for a little while?
It stops for a moment, grabs the legs of two of the dead things, and it just stands there like it's waiting for you to lead the way.
Okay. Come on, Felix, let's go.
Alright, so are you guys leaving the cave entrance now?
I guess do these things actually have anything on besides loincloths and odd metal swords?
No, I mean there's some necklaces that are made out of clay and different stones and teeth and stuff like that.
Puka shell necklaces. Yeah. Okay, no. I don't need anything from them.
Okay. Fucking puka shell. God damn it.
They were really surfers in disguise. Now you'll never know.
They're kind of like a hammerhead shark looking guys.
Yep. Those are troglodytes. which is just a fun word and easier to pronounce than a lot of the other ones that I picked for creature names. So for the first time in who knows how long, you're actually in the sunlight. It's it'd be a lie if we said that the weather was, super hospitable. It's about 30 degrees outside right now, and there's some light snow flurries coming down. But that's what you get for this time of year.
Was it winter when we went in this cave? I completely forgot what the season was.
Yes.
Okay.
Time to cast prestidigitation to warm myself up again.
Well, it's late fall, early winter. It's
Okay.
like late November-y time. You rolled a 9 to prestidigitate.
Yeah, I'm making my robes toasty warm.
What drawback do you want?
Unwelcome attention. A little too warm.
Dude, that guy's robes are warm. What's up with that?
Yeah, we'll take the unwelcome attention. That sounds like the most amusing one.
As you guys walk onwards, I'd assume you probably take a few minutes to get your bearings. Felix does realize that you are nice and warm, and being as he is part lizard, you're going to notice that he notices that right up about the time that he drapes an arm over you and snuggles up real close, and there's a weird growly purr happening right now.
I think he likes you, Zarko.
So give me a d4 and take that much squish damage.
Oh, gee. a little too
Oh no.
4
Bad touch.
damage. Oh.
Gotta be gentle, Felix. Gotta be gentle. Wizard squishes easily.
It's going to put its head down and walk away. Alright, so you guys have navigated the under trails. So after you come out, off in the distance to the east, you can see a river of some sort as it meets the ocean. Y'all are a bit higher up than the surrounding countryside, so you can see a lot further than you'd normally be able to. And with the fact that everything that's land is white and the water is still nice and blue and kind of steamy, you can see the river. Along the river, maybe it'd probably take you guys the majority of the rest of the day. It's probably early afternoon now. But yeah, along the river you see what appears to be a village of some sort, or it's at least a collection of buildings. So if you want to investigate any other areas, let me know, and I can let you know what else is available. But that's the first notable thing you guys see.
I don't think going down there with Felix is the best idea. Maybe I should go down there and see if they have some food we can purchase, and I'll bring it back to us.
We said it's an entire rest of the day to get down there.
Oh, is it that long?
I mean, we can always just send Felix hunting in the woods or something while we go in the town.
I feel like we should keep him under supervision, though.
Give him good commands. Don't eat anything that's only on 2 legs.
Well, I mean, even if we tell him to behave, people stumble across him. One thing leads to another, and then you've got dead villagers, and
Well, maybe we need to find a new home for Felix then. Felix Sanctuary.
it's probably not over there.
Well, let's all, at least as a party, get closer, and then maybe we can send some people into town. We get a little bit closer, so that we're not quite so
Yeah, I
separated.
mean, I think we may as well get closer if that's, most of a day away.
Or half a day, whatever.
I think we'll be
Since it's early
fine.
afternoon, we're out of the cave. And approaching a town at night is not always the best anyways. They might be more suspicious.
Especially now with the monster in tow. Okay, so sorry. What is the?
I'll
what
put
is
a
the
little
game plan?
fetching cap on him to make him look a little more
There you
personable.
go.
Aside from the fancy hat and for the monster, what's the game plan?
We're gonna get closer to the town, maybe within an hour, and sort of a separate temporary camp.
Sure. So the sun's just starting to go down in the sky. The snow's starting to hit a little bit harder. But you guys are about an hour, 45 minutes or so outside of this small town.
Could we?
You can just make out the light of lanterns on the buildings in the distance. Sorry, what were you saying?
I said, could we see a bit more of the map, maybe?
Yep. I keep forgetting you guys can't see all the things I can see.
Basically, can't see anything below under trails. The word.
3 bends.
So the town you guys see is right here. So do you want to set up there for the night and try to head to town in the morning, or what's the plan?
I mean, does this look like a much smaller town than First Conquest?
Oh yeah, this looks like maybe 15, 20 buildings. Looks like mostly houses with 2 or 3 larger buildings. That's all you can really make out from this distance at night, though.
Hey, I mean, I'm sure Sam doesn't mind staying outside of town. I guess if you want
Not at all.
to go in, Sarko, and just see if there's like an inn you can get some info about the town, that wouldn't hurt.
All right.
I should probably stay here with Felix for now.
Probably. Alright, so, Zarko, you're heading in there yourself. You come up to the front gates. There's rather minimal guard. There's 2 guys. There's 2 guys standing on the road leading into town. There's not really a gate, so to speak.
Mhm.
There's like a small guard shack with a fire going. And as they see you approach, one of them comes out and he's rubbing his hands together and he's like, "Who are you? What do you need? Where are you coming from?"
Hello there. I'm a traveling wizard named Zarko. I have a party a short ways back. We've just come out of these caves nearby, and I was hoping I could purchase some food to bring back to my party.
You're a wizard?
Yes.
Prove it.
That's always good.
I'll
Do you have a corpse handy?
I will prestidigitate to make his. I'll ask him first of all. I'll ask him if I can touch his robe touch his armor for a second.
What kind of wizard are... Fine, if it's part of the trick or whatever, that's fine.
And then I'm gonna cast prestidigitation to warm them up. That doesn't work.
Fantastic. Failure. Okay, I'm gonna give you some options. Either it does work, but to a degree you're not expecting, or it doesn't work and you look like an idiot to this guy.
I'll take the idiot option.
What starts as warmth is quickly replaced by panic as this dude's armor heats up really quickly and he strips it off and runs back in the building. He's like, "This goddamn wizard's out of his mind! Bernard, you get out there and talk to him. If I have to talk to him, I'm gonna stab him." So this other guy comes up and he goes, are you trying to, what are you doing? What do you need?"
He didn't believe me I was a wizard.
Well, so you caught him on fire?
No, he was cold, so I instructed his armor to make him feel warm, but he thought he was colder than he actually was.
Nice.
He was cold and you made him warm is fancy wizard speak for you caught him on fire. I know how your type operates.
His armor's right there. It's not on fire.
It's metal. You damn tricksters. Why did you come to Bend first?
Well, we just came out of these caves that were north here, and I need to buy some food.
You came from the Undertrails?
Yes.
Nobody comes from the Undertrails.
Well, we like to we like to be adventurers, blaze trails, see things other people don't. There were a lot of dead bodies in there.
Did you make them?
No, they were long dead. They mostly died from traps. A few of them died from onward. It's a very ancient name. They're well, it'd take too long to explain. They're very unpleasant creatures.
Are you from the Undertrails, or did you come from somewhere else? There's nothing on the other end of the Undertrails, we've been led to believe.
Well, we came out from First Conquest.
From who, what? Do you... Okay, maybe... Why don't you stay in the inn? I'll go get the town elder, and we'll have a little word with you in the morning to figure out what sort of nonsense you're talking about. How's that?
Can I go back to my party really fast to let them know? Otherwise,
Why didn't they come with you in the first place?
they are protecting some very heavy valuables we found that we don't want anyone to try and examine them because they're very curious looking, but they have some very dangerous spells on them that need to be disenchanted first.
So, Sam, do you think sending Zarko is the right idea? I'm kind of wondering now. no reason why. I'm kind of wondering.
Well,
It's for everyone's protection that we just I was just coming in to get some food, and we'd go back there to make sure that no misunderstandings happened.
Do this. Go get your friends. You can bury your dangerous whatever in the snow. Go get it after you leave tomorrow. Don't bring any evil magic into this town. We don't want any trouble. If you can agree to abide peacefully by our laws, you can stay the night here and maybe not freeze to death in the mountains. And then we'll check out your story in the morning.
Okay, I don't think our treasure wants to be buried in the snow.
Doesn't want to be.
Does it talk?
Yes.
Now I feel like I need to see this.
Okay.
You asked for it.
Do you want me to warm your armor first?
Pass.
Fair enough.
We got a fire. I know how to actually control, and I can keep it on the other side of the room.
All right. Well, you go ahead and you can come with me then, and just
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. You can get your friends and bring them back. I'm not leaving this watch post.
All right. Well, I mean, I told you
Whole thing still seems fishy.
we didn't want to come into town because we didn't want to alarm anyone. I putting that out there up front. If you want it all up front, we'll come up here. But
So help me, if you get me fired for this, do what you have to do. I'll go get the elder now because this sounds like a thing.
I agree. It's definitely
Definitely a thing.
Definitely a thing. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Zarko's gonna turn around and run back to Sam and Tori and Felix.
All right. So after another 45 minutes to an hour, you make it back to them. The snow is coming down even harder now. More difficult to see, any kind of great distance in front of you. It seems like probably in the next 12 hours or so, there's going to be a blizzard going on.
Let's go to town.
Yeah, they well, okay, so the first guard I talked to, kind of a yokel, didn't believe I was a wizard, didn't know what First Conquest was, okay? So I mean, it's hopeless. But so we're supposed to come back to town. Everybody's supposed to come back to town. The elder's going to be there. I mean, I told him up front, we were trying to stay out of town so we didn't cause any undue panic and whatnot. But I mean, either we stay out here and possibly freeze to death, or we get some food, maybe.
Sam rolls her eyes so hard.
Well, this should be an interesting trip then. I mean, our goal was to meet other townsfolk, so let's go meet the townsfolk. Elder. I don't recall what the journal entries, but did they list where this guy was from, the Wendigo dude?
They did not.
Did they have his name?
They did not.
That he had a wife and a daughter somewhere.
It has the names of the wife, the daughter, and
Oh.
Felix.
So we had the names of the wife and the daughter.
Yes.
Can we get that real quickly?
Sure.
Wife and daughter. Done.
The wife's name is Marnie, and the daughter's name is Vela. So you guys are headed back towards the town, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Felix behind us. So
Yes.
at least they see us first.
With his
Maybe.
hat. He has a very nice hat.
Bow tie? Should we give him a bow tie?
Bow tie?
Yeah. What? I mean, that's kind of fancy, right?
Prestidigitate some footy pajamas on him, make him look really unassuming.
Well, he was cold. Maybe he wants to have some pajamas on.
So it's taken longer to get back to town, just due to the increased amount of snow on the ground. It's getting to the point where it's almost knee high, so you got to do those really weird steps to get through it. I don't see snow often and never that high, so hopefully that's a thing. You guys get close to the guard post that Zarko did such a great job of.
Introducing us to.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a guard who is talking to an older person. There is another guard who looks just pissed off. And there is the older person who is wrapped in, it looks like a cloak and a jacket and a robe, and he's got a scarf. He's as bundled up as you can be, and he still looks cold, even though he's standing next to the fire. So you guys are going to approach any kind of particular marching order or anything like that?
I'm gonna stay in the back with.
Zarko was going to be in the front just because he had already,
Of
introduced
course.
himself.
I'm gonna hang out in the back with
Everything.
Felix and kind of not approach so much.
The one you talked to and didn't burn is going to say to the elder and says, that's the one I was telling you about. He's, I can't remember his name, is the great Diablo or something. I don't know. Anyway, he caught Garrus's armor on fire. It's a whole thing. He's some sort of wizard, apparently, from a town that doesn't exist. I don't know. He said he was going to his friends, and I guess those are his. And as he says, right as he's about to say friends, he looks and he sees Felix, and he goes, and he just elbows the elder and points.
Hello, the town.
What is the meaning of this? What is this, first off, and then what is the meaning of it?
Oh, this is our friend Felix. We met him in the Undertrails, and he is journeying with us now.
Friend? Does it speak?
Yes.
Does it reason? How do you know it's your friend? That it just hasn't eaten you yet? Has it eaten any of you?
No, none of us. He had a snack in the cave, but not one of us. And he has feelings and emotions. He can be sad and happy, cold, just like you. He has very expressive grunts, and he was very loyal.
So as I was telling the guards earlier, we didn't want to cause a scene. They were very insistent that I bring the whole party back.
Bernard's going to hold up his hand and be like, what I said was to bring his magic talking thing, because he said he has a magic thing that talked and he didn't want to bury it, and I thought it was a sword, and that is not a sword. So if you could please not fire me for this, I would really appreciate it.
It didn't want to be buried, though, as you can see.
Indeed.
The elder says that is, I can imagine. That is quite evident that thing would not want to be buried. Does it have, he said Felix.
Felix.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Felix would not want to be buried. So why did you come to Bend first?
Oh, well, I guess Zarko didn't explain. We are actually adventurers from the port city of First Conquest to the north. And I will pull out the necklace that we were given for identification.
Boy,
And,
you must be mistaken. To the north of us there's mountains, there's inhospitable swampland, and as far as we know, that's it. There used to be a town to the north, but no one's had contact with them in decades.
I assure you, there is a town, and we are making that contact now. It's a lovely little gem up there in the north. And we just want to get to know our neighbors.
Why now, after all this time? What do you want from us?
Trade, in fact. We are looking to expand our trade routes.
What do you have to offer?
I'm assuming I got a copy of whatever list Voltus and crew had. Or at least have a memory of it, because it's been many weeks since we last talked about we had a trade.
Yeah, it was mostly fish.
Fish?
And,
We have lots of fish.
I think like some crops, I think.
Culture? Yeah.
Do you think us uncivilized that we don't have culture?
We have wizards, as you can see.
Oh yes, and a fine asset those are proving to be.
It's been a long day.
Well,
His
he's
fingers were cold. They just made him fumble his spell maybe a little bit.
He's not really used to dealing with armor, you know.
Metal is not his forte. I'm sure we could talk some more about it, but it seems to be rather chill out here. Perhaps there's a nice warm barn we could use for the night. I imagine you don't want Felix in your tavern if you had one of those.
I don't think he would fit in the tavern.
So yeah, you have a stable or a barn we could use, and we would be happy to spend the night there and talk some more in the morning.
We've give me a little while, and I'll see what we can do for your large friend.
Thank you.
He sends one of the guards, the one who looked more grumpy, Garrus. He sends him off to see if he can find someone to clear out a few adjacent stalls in the barn. The elder looks back over at you and he says, I want you to understand that if this creature decides to start eating livestock, you will be held accountable. And
Of course.
if he begins to try to attack or eat any citizens, we will react harshly to all of you. Adventurers or not,
assure you
we
he'll be
will
on his-
defend ourselves.
Please make sure they do not provoke him.
I will do that. I doubt there are any who would want to be too close. I'm sure he's a lovely creature, but you can understand he has a bit of an intimidating presence.
That's why we
probably
like
rather-
him.
Hurt looking right now, if anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if he was close, he's probably trying to get close to the fire to warm up, and he's hearing this, and he's just kind of sad dog, head down, tail tucked between legs, kind of thing. After a few minutes of you guys talking back and forth, Garrus comes back and he says, "All right, sir, the barn is as ready as it's gonna be. We got a few blankets. Does it need blankets?
Well, blankets would be lovely. Yes, thank you.
Okay, they're in there. I can show you where it is, unless you guys had anything you wanted to talk to the elder about before that, or
Just a random chance. We found some personal belongings. Would someone name of Marnie and her daughter Vela be living in this town?
we have a woman named Vela, but she doesn't have any living parents or anything.
Well, if you could ask her maybe tomorrow to meet with us, ask her if her mother's name was Marnie, that would be great. And she probably would love to meet us tomorrow morning.
Sure. Anyway, if that's all, I'll be getting back to my sleep. Is there anything else that you need from me, or can we do this in the morning, provided we're all able to get out of the houses with all this snow coming?
I find fast forwarding to the morning.
Excellent. Okay. Well, be on your best behavior. I'm sorry to sound so untrusting. You have to understand all the things you're saying are setting off a few warnings. A group of 3 people staggered in through caves no one navigates and said they're from a town which, as far as we know, doesn't exist anymore. So, we don't mean to sound inhospitable, and if everything you're saying is true, we apologize. We'll get some more info from you tomorrow, but I don't want you to think we're all backwater recluses who are opposed to
it is very
contact.
late, and this is very odd.
Yes, it is both of those things. So let's speak in the morning under hopefully warmer circumstances, and we can figure out things from there.
That's fine.
Sam's gonna look at Max and say, "You hear that? You better be on your best behavior, weirdo."
The guard, before he leads you all off to the barn, he says, "Does the dog need a spot in the barn too?"
If you don't mind, I like to keep my dog as close as possible, and he's not really a fan of the snow.
We can set him up next to the lizard, the big thing. We could.
I'm sure that will be fine.
Okay, good. Well, right this way, and he leads you guys over to the barn. There are some piles of hay. There's one large pile off in the corner for Felix, and they quickly put together another one for Max. After that, you guys are led to what is probably an inn. There's nobody at the front desk. The guard goes around behind the counter, gives you guys some keys to some rooms, and he says, don't tell anybody about this. Zia would be mad. She's the elder's wife, and she's very particular about having her own spending money. It's a whole thing. I didn't say anything to you, and I didn't give you these keys, is basically the gist of this. I will see you all in the morning, yes? Don't make any trouble, and stay warm. He leads you up the stairs to your rooms. And I guess what we'll do is call it a night here, since my butt has fallen asleep. And it seems like a good enough cutoff point. So thank you guys for sticking around. And
Do you want to do
I
the
was about to say,
final session
before
wrap-up?
we actually leave, we're going to do the end of session stuff. Oh God, run out of piece. I'm running out of room on this paper. End of session. When you reach the end of a session, choose one of your bonds that you feel is resolved, completely explored, no longer relevant, or otherwise. Anybody have any bond movement they feel they need to do?
Auric and I need to have a conversation. I mean, that it's not resolved yet, but we need to maybe have that conversation next
Okay.
session.
Yeah.
Definitely make a little asterisk note for that. I would say do it in the chat, but since two groups use the same chat, it wouldn't work well.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I can make a note on my character sheet.
Look at your alignment. Zarko, did you use magic to cause terror and fear?
I think I did.
That one guy is kind
He
of
was
scared
a-
of you now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sam, did you endanger yourself to combat an unnatural threat?
And a natural threat. Did I endanger myself? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't think of anything.
Auric, did you avoid detection or infiltrate a location?
That pool monster didn't attack us, so I avoided detection.
Oh,
there.
yeah, that's true.
That works. Yep. All right, so we've got those. Once bonds. Answer these questions as a group. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Hey, there's a town and a river, and they think
Yeah.
we're not real.
Yeah, they don't even know about First Conquest.
It's crazy, right?
I'm going to say the realization that everybody thinks that the town actually absolutely doesn't exist, I guess, is an okay realization. Something new. Overcome a notable monster or enemy.
I think we overcame.
Felix is
Yeah.
just pretty notable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go for it.
We won the Battle of Heart.
Yeah.
Did you loot a memorable treasure?
I got some Wendigo dust.
That's more part of
That
an
is very
animal.
memorable.
Nice.
We have the treasure of friendship.
But
We
see,
looted
that's the greatest.
Felix.
you've
That's
had
the
that all
greatest
along.
treasure of all.
So we've had that experience all along too, right?
So you can't mark it on this episode.
Ah.
All right. Wow. Geez. Okay. So
We failed so many times.
Zarko, you failed 4 times. So plus your alignment, plus the something notable, plus learning something new, you got 7 experience this session.
Oh, crap.
Sam, you failed twice, plus the something new, plus the notable monster. You have 4 experience from this session. And Auric, you failed twice, plus your 1 alignment, plus the something, plus the notable is 5? 5.
What I got.
All right. So, I'm going to have to update the adventure log for the last session because I forgot to do it, and for this one. And then we will take I'll let you guys know if you're supposed to level up before the next session.
We were all one away.
Yeah, I think
we've
so.
all leveled.
Yeah, so before the next session, just make a quick mark on your character sheet. All you have to do is you increase one of your stats by 1. Not the modifier, just the stat. And then you pick one advanced move from the second page of your character sheet. You'll have a section that says when you reach a level from 2 to 5, choose one of those moves, and it'll be in there. Just whenever you figure all that out, let me know so I can update my end of things, and we should be good to go. So thank you, everyone, for sticking around, both listener and player alike. I appreciate both. So please continue to like, share, subscribe. Visit our website at thatdndpodcast.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, send them to thatdndpodcast@gmail.com. And we will, I don't know, maybe do like a mailbag episode or reply to you within several minutes if, it's the middle of the day and we're bored. Which tends to be how things happen. I am real bad at these endings and usually the beginnings too. So sorry about that. I guess at this point it's probably just a running thing and we're all like, let's see how he fucks it up this time. So happy to disappoint. Have a good night.
That D&D podcast is released under Creative Commons 2.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivative License. Tell your friends about us, don't chop out the good stuff, and don't sell our work. The intro music is The Last Ones by Jahzzar, that's Jahzzar. It can be found at the Free Music Archive. The outro music is Kopeika, Kopeika, by Et, that's ET_, and can also be found at the Free Music Archive. All other copyrighted content is owned by their associated copyright holder.